We see in this episode of the challenge, things get kinda down and dirty. Surprise, mother. Hello and welcome back everyone to the video series dedicated show on MTV that is still trying to solve slide puzzles. That's right, we're talking about The Challenge, Season 36, Double Agents, Episode 8. And in this episode, we learn that Lolo doesn't like to be choked. Teresa has a bad poker face, and Nam is desperately trying to get that rookie win. But let's start off where last episode left off, and that was Leroy going into the elimination against Jay in the fire escape elimination. Leroy beasting out that win, getting his gold skull, and we're coming back to the challenge house, rocking out to some Huey Lewis and the News Power of Love. Brought to you by Back to the Future. But back at the challenge house, Leroy and Kam are celebrating because they both have their gold skulls. They both have their tickets punched to the finals. However, it is still a long road until the finals, and they have to strategize, and strategize they do. Kam really wants to take a shot at Teresa on the next girls' elimination day, and she wants to pit her against either Casey or Lolo, so it's a difficult matchup for any three of them that go against each other. However, they don't know if it's going to be a guy's day or a girl's day in this elimination. I mean, everyone has a partner. We just had a guy's day, but there's more guys with skulls than there are women. So the pressure is on the guys because there's only really one left, and Josh wants it. Now, there is some troubles happening over with the muscle duo of Nam and Lolo, as they are not on the same page. They are not on the same wavelength at all in this game. Nam is ready to go solo if he has to. He is thinking that this duo is not a good one. CT intervenes and is like, hey, guys, you are the strongest duo in this game. Put aside your differences, put aside your pride and egos, and just go win a daily challenge so you can throw yourselves in. There's some rumors that CT and Lolo aren't even being looked at to being thrown into the elimination because the rest of the house doesn't even want to give them a shot or an opportunity to get their gold skulls. Let's move on to the daily challenge. This week's daily challenge is called All Brawl. Get it? It's not a hall brawl, it's an all brawl. And this is going to be played in a giant mud pit, and what they're going to be doing is at 5 at a time, they're going to be running into this mud pit trying to find a relic, aka the X from Battle of the X's and Battle of the X's 2 from X Battle. Find it, then you're going to have to get it out of the mud pit and cross the finish line with it. This is going to be played in 4 heats, meaning there's going to be 4 winners in round 1. This is going to be played in multiple rounds, but TJ is like, I'm not going to tell you anything about the other rounds because it's a big old secret. So now let's move into these heat. In heat 1, we have Anissa, Big T, Kam, Lolo, and Nani going up against each other. And this is the first heat. They have no idea what this relic looks like. They don't know what they're searching for. So they all jump in and they're meticulously searching through this mud. Nani finds it, picks it up, and she just starts freaking out. Now in other heats, we're going to see that better strategies are had, but this is the first heat. So you don't know what you're expecting. And I'm sure it came to a shock to her. And just like sharks in chummy water, the rest of the women in the heat are just right on her. Lolo is like pulling this relic away from her. Anissa gets up and is wrestling Lolo to the ground. She puts her arm around Lolo's neck at one point. Nani still has this relic, but throws it when she's getting tackled again. Once she throws it, Kam scoops it up and easily takes it across the finish line, winning heat 1. And then things get really spicy after heat 1 as Lolo is yelling at Anissa for putting her arm around her neck. She is going at her. And Anissa's like, look, that was nothing compared to other stuff that happened in physical daily challenge, other stuff that's happened on the challenge, and even some of the other vet guys are like, look, that's a day at the office. That doesn't get resolved until way later in the episode. But now let's go into heat 2 with Fessy, Josh, Kyle, Michi, and Nam. First of all, Nam gets like 3 feet of air as he is jumping into this mud pit. I'm sitting there going like, this is shallow mud, dude. Like, I hope you don't shatter your ankle jumping into this thing. But Nam has a strategy as he finds this thing really easily, and he is moving closer and closer to the finish line, or closer to the edge of the mud pit, and he is like picking up rocks, picking up mud. He plays this off perfectly. It's a chef kiss kind of strategy, as once he sees that Fessy like turns his back, that's when Nam just like pulls this thing up out of the mud, hurdles over the side, gets away from Fessie's grasp, and then Nam, once he gets over the finish line with the X, is just like hip thrusts with jubilance. Like, we move on to Heat 3, and this is Amber B, Amber M, Gabby, Casey, and Teresa, and they jump into this thing, and Teresa instantly finds the relic. And like Anissa said, I instantly was like, yo, Teresa is smiling. Like, she is in this freezing cold mud and smiling. And it doesn't take long for the other girls to be like, I think Teresa has it. And Gabby's like, no, she doesn't have it. And then Teresa's just like, screw this, pulls it up out of the mud. Amber B tackles her. Everyone else is like ganging up on her. Teresa does like a Statue of Liberty with Gabby. Teresa is like holding it out, and Gabby just like swoops in, gets the handoff, runs, and easily gets Heat 3. And then in Heat 4, we have some heavy hitters. Like this Heat 4, I was like, this is it. This is going to be fireworks, as we have CT, Corey, Darrell, Devin, and Leroy. This is where another strategy is had, and that is CT doing the granny shuffle, as Kyle called it in the Aftermath show. And he is doing the granny shuffle. He is just using his feet and like kicking up the dirt, finding it with his feet. And at some point he does find it. And it's interesting because all the girls are like, yo, he has it. And CT is saying, hey, check my feet, check my feet. Leroy checks CT's feet multiple times. To me, I'm sitting there going like, how is he playing this off? Because at one point, everyone's on one side of the pit. He has a clear shot, and he does. He just pulls this thing out, runs it easily past the finish line. CT plays that off perfectly. And so round 2 is set up for Nam, Kam, Gabby, and CT to go up against each other in a pole wrestle. But once you have the pole away from your opponent, you have to get out of the mud pit and into safety. Heading into round 2 with Nam versus CT, I think this is what everybody has been waiting for. We've been wanting to see what some of these rookies can do in this game in a physical elimination type battle. This is a daily challenge, but we're doing a pole wrestle, and normally that's an elimination. And then we have CT with the new bod. He's in better shape, and we've been wanting to see that passion, that fire in CT's eyes again, and we see it here. CT is showing that experience, that fire, that passion. He wants to win this daily challenge so bad, and he is able to beat out Nam in round 2. And coming into Kam versus Gabby, Kam knows how to just wrestle that X away from players, and she does it easily with Gabby. At one point, Gabby goes, ow, my wrist, easily whips this thing away from Gabby and crosses the finish line, winning round 2, heading to sudden death, where TJ throws a little curveball in this matchup because you can't have Kam versus CT now having their partners joining in on the fight. So now we're gonna have CT versus Kyle, Big T versus Kam, which makes CT blow a gasket. Big T is never gonna win against Kam in this type of game. What am I gonna do? Keep on going against Kyle in this mud pit over and over again? Also, it started raining. CT looks defeated. Kam is gonna win against Big T, which she does. And so now it's going up against Kyle, and it's CT we see putting up a fight against Kyle, but nothing like we just saw him going up against Nam. Kyle is able to win against CT. Kyle is feeling super confident, which he does. I mean, a win is a win. But now we move back to the challenge house after Kyle and Kam win, and they are having to strategize, right? They're trying to figure out what the best options are. Nani and Josh already came to Kam saying, hey, we would like to go into the elimination, and we would rather like to go against Amber M and Michi, which Amber M is feeling like her and Michi's name are on the chopping block, which it is. It has been this whole game, and now it's definitely on the chopping block. Now, upon hearing that Nani and Josh want to go in against Amber M and Michi, that's when Kyle's like, I'm not feeling that plan. How about we throw in Anissa and Fessie against Josh? Kam is thinking, I'm not feeling that plan whatsoever. So they're having to come up with a pros and cons. The initial talks and takes are not, they're not on the same page. But we move on to the party scene where Kyle is putting in the plans and works to put in Anissa and Fessie as the house vote. He wants his shot at taking a shot at them after them throwing him into the elimination against Joseph and blindsiding him. However, on the next morning, Amber B is talking about how, look, I think we should vote in Amber M and Michi. Now, this is interesting thought process and strategy by Amber B because she's been playing with multiple groups in the house. She's been playing with the rookies, she's been playing the itty bitty small committee, she's been playing in the BB Alliance, and now it's coming to a pivotal point where she has to choose a side. She has to figure out what side she wants to run with for the rest of this game and who has her back 100%. And that's going to be the BB Alliance. They have a lot more numbers, they have a lot more influence. And so she's thinking, I have to look out for my BB Alliance. And so she's like, let's vote in Amber M and Michi. And that's when Amber comes in and the conversation gets a little awkward. And we move on to the deliberation where Amber M and Michi decide to start off the conversation by going, look, we're not feeling it today, so how about we don't vote us in? This was a terrible decision, because when you're saying to the house, I'm not feeling it today, don't throw me in, you're kind of saying I'm not mentally there and I'm not mentally prepared, so don't throw me in, which the house is going to look at like, we're going to throw you in. So we move on to the voting, and it is coming down to Aneesa and Fessy and Amber M and Michi. And we see in the secret agents, double agent deliberation with Kyle and Kam, we don't see the votes. We don't see who the compromised agents. This is the first episode where we don't see anything until we meet into the elimination. But we do hear from Kyle that Amber B came to him saying, hey, we're gonna vote in Amber M and Michi. We're gonna vote in my friend. Don't tell her. Also, Amber M comes to Kyle asking, hey, if you see Amber B voted me, let me know. So things are getting messy with the rookie girls. We get to see Kam and Kyle's shocked faces as they see some of the intel, but we don't see anything until we get to the crater. But speaking of which, let's move on to the crater, and as everybody's walking into the elimination, they're seeing that it is the same setup as seen in episode 5 where Tori and Aneesa went into this elimination called asset destruction. So we kind of have an idea of what to expect from this elimination, and everyone's pretty much dying to see who the compromised agents are, and we find out from TJ that the compromised agents are Amber M and Michi. And this leads into, we see the asset destruction. Aneesa beasted this out not too long ago, and if we have her go up against Amber M, she's probably gonna win again. And thinking that Michi, looking at him and looking at Fessy, it's not a good matchup on either end on this elimination. So Kyle and Kam decide to vote in Josh and Nany into this elimination. Now in the aftermath, after show, post show for this episode, we get a little bit of their strategy of why they voted in Josh and Nany into the elimination against Amber M and Michi. And what we hear from Kam and Kyle is that you get one of them their skulls. If Nany gets their skull, great. If Josh is going up against Michi, gets his skull, then there is some buffering for the guys and who they would want to steal gold skulls from. They would be more apt to go up against either Devin or Josh, or wanting to go up against Devin or Josh, rather than say Leroy, Fessy, or Kyle in elimination to get their gold skull. So they vote in Josh and Nany, and it's going to be a guy's elimination. So it's going to be Josh and Michi going up against each other in asset destruction, where you have to move this crate of big old heavy medicine balls, tip it over, grab the balls, and then knock through the breakaway plates. However, in this one, there's a difference where you have to finish a slide puzzle before you can even start moving your crate of balls. Hearing of a puzzle, Michi is already in his way. He's already like locked up. He doesn't know how to do a slide puzzle, which I can understand. Slide puzzles are difficult if you've never done one before or don't know the strategy. But it is too late. It is trial by fire as TJ blows that horn. Both guys are doing the slide puzzles. He's quick draw McGraw in this slide puzzle as Josh instantly gets the slide puzzle done. He moves this crate of balls easily. We find out though that the hard part for Josh in this elimination is aiming, as he's like the Bears kicker in that playoff game where he double doinked the kick multiple times. It's like there's so much more room to hit the squares, there's so much area surface to hit the squares, yet you keep on hitting the frame. Something that also got me in this elimination was TJ specifically and clearly says that the slide puzzle is there to, one, be a puzzle and to make it a little bit more difficult, but it also shows which squares are breakaway, so it's easier to know once you have the puzzle done. Even with Josh hitting the squares, they weren't breaking, and it's like, just check your puzzle, man. There's little dots to show you that, hey, those things are going to be able to break away. Hit those ones. Everyone was dying laughing. I had tears in my eyes for how funny it was. But finally, something clicks for Josh. He is getting into the rhythm. He looks at the puzzle, and Michi is still doing his puzzle. Like, he doesn't even get off this puzzle. Josh was able to hit all of those breakaway spots and get this win. His first ever elimination win. Congratulations, Josh. Michi was sent home, and Josh stays with Nani as his partner. They have been working really well with each other. If it's not broke, don't fix it, so he stays with Nani. But that is it for this episode. What'd you think about this episode? Let me know that in the comments section below. What'd you think about that daily challenge? What'd you think about CT versus Nam? Oh my goodness, that was like heaven to watch. Let me know that in the comments section below. What'd you think about all the strategies? What did you think about that elimination? And what do you think about Josh winning his first ever elimination? Let me know anything and everything you have about this episode down in the comment section below, as I'm going to be taking some of your comments for tomorrow's Tiny Table Talk. But thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge 36 Double Agent content, more content in general. But until then, peace.